Expectations for Spencer Rattler are extremely high going into the season. Not only is he one of the preseason Heisman favorites, but he will also be taking over a quarterback job that has seen major success between Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, and Jalen Hurts. Who is Spencer Rattler, and will he be able to live up to the hype? In the Who Is series, we go through the backstories of up-and-coming collegiate and professional athletes. Consider subscribing to the channel and leave a like on the video. We release sports-related content every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Spencer Rattler began playing football at the age of 7 and started to garner college attention at the age of 11. Rattler caught the eye of Dana Zupke, Pinnacle High School's head football coach, when he was playing boys and girls club basketball. Rattler later attended Pinnacle High School, which is located in North Phoenix, Arizona. Everyone knew who Rattler was, and many had high expectations for him entering high school. Rattler was not supposed to start his freshman year, but when the expected starting quarterback quit the team over the summer, Rattler, at 14 years old, was thrusted into the starting job. Rattler's first game came against Chandler High School. This would be the part of the video where I say he exploded onto the scene as a freshman in his first game. That's not what happened. Rattler instead threw 3 interceptions, 0 touchdowns, and only 133 passing yards en route to a 56-10 loss. Rattler did not let that game define his season, and he shook off the nerves going into the next 3 games of the season. In those 3 games, Rattler threw for 798 passing yards, 9 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Rattler finished his freshman season with 2,300 passing yards, 19 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. Pinnacle finished the season 4-5 during Rattler's freshman campaign. Rattler's first level of national exposure came during the first week of his sophomore season. In the game against Basha, which was televised by ESPN, Rattler led his team to a 49-41 win, throwing for over 300 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Aside from the impressive stats, the most amazing part of that performance was the fact Rattler did it with a broken hand. Rattler was playing the game no matter what, and had Pinnacle lost, it wasn't going to be used as an excuse, because Rattler does not believe in excuses. In Rattler's first 3 seasons at Pinnacle, the team improved each season. During his junior year, Pinnacle finished 9-4, and Rattler threw for 45 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and nearly 4,000 passing yards. In 3 years, Rattler threw for 9,000 passing yards, 93 touchdowns, and 30 interceptions. He impressed everyone with his pinpoint accuracy and said he used to be compared to Baker Mayfield, but a lot more athletic. Before his senior year, Rattler attended the Elite 11 quarterback camp and was named the Elite 11 MVP for his performance. Going into his senior year, Rattler starred in Season 3 of QB1 Beyond the Lights. He also had 2 goals for the season, won a state championship, and Gatorade Player of the Year. In the games he played, Rattler did not disappoint. Pinnacle opened up their season against Perry, where Rattler threw for 415 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 46 rushing yards, and another touchdown on the ground, in a 59-33 win. Rattler would leave the next game early and miss the following game as well. In his return against Jacera Catholic, Rattler threw for 458 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception in a 42-35 loss. In the next game against Valley Vista, he threw for 293 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Against O'Connor, Rattler threw for 343 passing yards and 3 touchdowns, while also rushing for 84 yards and another touchdown. In Rattler's last career high school game, he threw for 166 passing yards and 4 touchdowns in a 34-33 win. Spencer Rattler did not play in Pinnacle's last 5 games of the season, and Pinnacle lost to Perry in the semifinals of the state playoffs. So why did Rattler not play in the last 5 games of the season? A few days before a game that was supposed to be televised on ESPN, it was reported he was going to be out with an MCL injury. That turned out to be a false story that the school administration and his parents thought would be the best explanation. Due to FERPA, other than people in the meeting, no one really knows what actually happened. Rattler responded to the situation on QB1 Beyond the Lights by saying, "A day or 2 before the ESPN game, I messed up. It was a code of conduct rule and I was ineligible, not suspended. It was a childish and dumb mistake." Michael Rattler, Spencer's father, said, "I've heard all kinds of rumors, and 98% of them are wrong. So I'll just put that out there. It's a private thing, we're going to keep it that way." Spencer's mother commented on the situation saying, "He made a mistake, and he's moved on. But he did not hurt anyone, there's no crime, there's nothing on his record, there's nothing on his school record." I am not going to speculate on what happened, nor do I think anybody should. I debated about talking about this part of the Spencer Rattler story, but we tried to tell the full backstory in the Who Is series. The honest answer is that From the sound of it, this would not have been such a big story had it not been the perfect storm combining with the week of an ESPN game and Rattler being on QB1 Beyond the Lights. He was a 17, 18-year-old kid at the time, which I think we forget sometimes, and we mess up. Rattler finished his high school career with the Arizona record for passing yards with 11,083 passing yards and 116 passing touchdowns. He also rushed for over 1,000 yards and 14 touchdowns in his high school career. Rattler was an All-American Bowl selection, and between October 12th, his last high school game, and the All-American game, Rattler packed on 20 pounds with his workout program. During the All-American game, Rattler scored 2 touchdowns and impressed in the second half. Rattler committed to Oklahoma back on June 27, 2017, but also had 14 total offers, which included Alabama, Notre Dame, and Texas. He was a 5-star recruit who was the consensus top pro-style quarterback in the class, top player in Arizona, and 9th-rated player nationally. He became Oklahoma's first 5-star quarterback commit out of high school since Rhett Bomber in 2004. Rattler actually committed to Oklahoma right after Lincoln Riley was named head coach when Bob Stoops retired. Rattler was hoping to become the first true freshman starter at Oklahoma since 1990, but surprisingly did not decide to enroll early. This was partly due to his high school's high academic standards, which made it an improbability of happening, and Rattler also wanting to enjoy his senior year. When Rattler got to Oklahoma in the spring, he had to compete for the starting job against former Alabama quarterback Jalen Hurts, who had just recently transferred to Oklahoma. Hurts won the starting quarterback job and led Oklahoma to the college football playoffs, where LSU rolled the Sooners 63-28 in the semifinal game. Rattler played in 3 games during the 2019 season. Against South Dakota, Rattler went 4 for 4, throwing for 50 passing yards and his first career touchdown. Against Texas Tech, he went 2 for 4, throwing for 4 passing yards and rushing for 23 yards. In the semifinal game against LSU, Rattler completed 1 of his 3 pass attempts for 8 yards while also rushing for 8 yards. Rattler finished his freshman season completing 7 of his 11 passes for 81 yards and 1 touchdown. Going into Rattler's second year at Oklahoma, he will be competing against redshirt sophomore Tanner Mordecai for the starting job. In 8 career games, Mordecai has completed 18 of his 30 passes for 244 yards and 2 touchdowns. Rattler is expected to win the starting job because he was the one who played garbage time against LSU over Mordecai. If Rattler becomes the starter, he will become the first Oklahoma commit out of high school to start for the Sooners since 2014. The last quarterback to do that for Oklahoma was Trevor Knight. The 3 previous quarterbacks at Oklahoma were all transfers: Baker Mayfield from Texas Tech, Kyler Murray from Texas A&M, and Jalen Hurts from Alabama. As of June 9th, 2020, Rattler has the 3rd highest odds to win the Heisman, with 12-1 odds behind Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. Check out my Who Is videos for those 2 in the links below. The Oklahoma Sooners also have the 6th highest odds to win the national championship, with 20-1 odds. With all the hype and pressure on Rattler, it'll be interesting to see how he will perform. As George S. Patton Jr. once said, "Pressure makes diamonds." If you like this video, check out my other videos in the Who Is series. Leave a like on the video as well as consider subscribing to the channel. And remember to embrace the grind.